conversations and discussion. Again, there is coffee and donuts over here on the side. There's some information about nonstop flights to Denver International Airport and Great Lakes Airlines that you can pick up and take with you. Pleased to have you here. We have some recognitions I'd like to make, and just go ahead and thank some individuals. And it's hard to thank everybody all at one time individually, but here I'll give it a try. First, I'd like to thank the partnership, City of Salina, Saline County, Salina Airport Authority, the Salina Economic Development Organization, the supporters of the restoration of scheduled air service for the Salina Regional Airport, for our city, our county, and our region. Again, there's been a group of individuals been working hard together to help advise and guide, and that working group very much appreciates your assistance. We have contractors here that have helped us with the remodeling of the facility. We'll do the ribbon cutting for the remodeled TSA screening area and for the passenger holding area for passengers flying to Denver, then on from Denver to over 180 different destinations on nonstop flights that they would like to recognize specifically the project architect, Don Mars. Don is here. Don, right back there. And project general contractor, Bob Miller, Bus Boom and Rao.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all your time. Thank you very much. We have a ribbon cutting this morning, and we also have an announcement. I'd like to introduce Senator Jerry Moran, who's, without Jerry's efforts, we would not be here today. Jerry and I met for the first time a while ago. I won't divulge if he promises not to divulge how many years. Also, first time I met Jerry, though, Jerry at the State House, the Capitol, as a state senator, Jerry reached out his hand. He said, after I was introduced to him, he said, "What can I do for you?" That has been a constant for Jerry over his years of service as a state senator, as a U.S. congressman, and as our U.S. senator. Jerry's been involved in projects for this community that have been just vital to our economic growth and development, whether it be helping with developments and the growth of K-State Polytechnic now, to our economic development efforts, the efforts to make sure we properly restore the environmental contamination that was caused by military activity at the former Shelling Air Force Base. Jerry's been here at every point of the time to help us at these critical junctures in our community's development. And the restoration of air service for our community, our city, our county, and our region is no different. And we'd like for Jerry to come forward and share with you the good news we have today about the start of Great Lakes Airline service to Denver International Airport. Jerry?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. It made me smile when Tim said I was here to make an announcement. All of you must have dread when someone from Washington, D.C. comes to make an announcement. But I think in this case it will be one that's well received and positive, certainly to the community and to this region of the state, in fact, statewide. First of all, Tim was very kind to me. I appreciate the relationship, the friendship that Tim and I have had for a few years now, and it has been a great honor to do everything we can to try to make certain that good things happen in Salina and in Kansas. And you all need to know what an asset this airport is, what an asset this airport authority is, and how fortunate Salina is to have the leadership of Tim Rogers involved in the airport authority. And there is no one who is more consistent in making certain that folks in Washington, D.C. Take the necessary steps to be helpful to the airport and helpful to the community. And the good thing about Tim is he just doesn't present us with a problem. He has a plan, a strategy by which we can solve the problem. And that was true in this case and every instance that I've dealt with Tim. And so I appreciate the professional caring way that Tim works to benefit Salina and the region. So Tim, thank you very much. It's an honor to join you here. I appreciate being invited. And first of all, I'm pleased that we're going to cut a ribbon on the M.J. Kennedy terminal remodeling. Congratulations to the architect and the contractors. Delighted to see progress in the community. There is, it is clear to me, and I suppose I'm an awfully good example. You do not have to convince somebody who lives in our part of Kansas and who makes his way to Washington, D.C. every week and back home every week, the importance of air service. And I fully recognize the value of this. I've intended and worked hard to be an advocate for general aviation and for commercial service in our state, and the education, incidentally, that is necessary to go with that development. And I sometimes think that's because people in Washington, D.C. at least see it as Moran is taking care of the aviation manufacturing sector of our economy. And there's no doubt how hugely significant and important that is. But I can tell you, as a person who cares a lot about rural America, rural Kansas in particular, our access to aviation. This is something more than just building planes. This is the way we keep our communities together. And there are communities across our state. In the absence of access to the rest of the world through an airport, it would be a totally different community. Manufacturers would not be in places that they are in communities, small towns across Kansas. Our ability to get physicians and specialists to our communities, our ability to go out and bring customers in and to go out and sell ourselves to the rest of the world is determined in large part by our access to aviation services. And so this is important to the growth of Salina, to the growth of Kansas. And you all as a community are to be commended for recognizing its importance. I can't imagine why anyone would want to leave Salina, but if they do, the announcement today is that Great Lakes is commencing commercial service to Denver, 2 flights a day, beginning June the 15th. And so we have a positive development, in some ways long time coming. And we had a hurdle of trying to make certain that common sense prevailed in Washington, D.C. There was a belief that we could have commercial service without screening services in Salina. And from my own experience and just common sense tells me that's not going to work. And I read what Lucy and others said in the Salina Journal, and I knew that I had no choice but to try to make certain that Lucy and others were satisfied by the opportunity to screen clients, her clients, and other travel agencies' clients, but our passengers that depart Salina here at this regional airport. The idea that we could go to Denver and be screened in an unsecured area and brought back in would mean the schedules probably would never work for most travelers. And just as a person who's on a plane, would you not feel less comfortable knowing that 49 other people on the plane have not gone through security before you get on the plane? And so we're delighted with the decision that TSA has made. Tim and the president of Great Lakes came to Washington, D.C. We sat down with the TSA administrator to make clear the necessity of having screening done in Salina, and I'm very appreciative to them, and they made a good decision. They reversed their previous decision and decided we were right, that screening was necessary. And so, in a sense, really good things are happening in Salina. The remodeled terminal, commercial service soon to begin, and the TSA screening that's so important, unfortunately, in today's dangerous world, to make certain that those who fly are safe and secure. And so, my congratulations and best wishes to Salina, and I look forward to being a passenger on my way to Denver if I ever decide that I didn't want to stay another extra hour in Salina. Thank you all very much for being here. It's nice of you to include me, but what happened here was local folks decided they were going to solve a local and regional problem, and you did. That's the way it's supposed to work. Thank you very much.
Mayor Kay Crawford has a lifelong association with Salina and our community, and understands the importance of so many aspects of our community and what it means to our economic health, our quality of life. And Kay will share a few words as far as from the city's perspective, City Commission's perspective, and how this impacts our community. Kay?
Thank you. Well, I was just telling Senator Moran, the thing that I remember most about hearing about Senator Moran is all his work with Veterans Affairs. And that has been great for those of us who are Air Force wives and stand here on the old Schilling Air Force Base. What I hear out in the community a lot is, why don't you bring in jobs? Well, this is going to help. This is where we start. We have to have air service to bring in jobs. The other thing I hear is, I have grandchildren and children scattered all over the United States, and I want to go see them, but I hate going through security. I hate having to take my shoes off. Well, you're still going to have to go through security, of course, we know that. But it's going to be so much easier to go through here and get ready to go to Chicago. It's much easier than if you're in Dallas or Chicago or Fort Worth. You're going to be able to go through security here, and then when you get to Denver, you don't have to go through security again. And it's a 2-hour nonstop flight. How can it be any better? To me, it's a win-win situation, and I want to thank, for the citizens of Salina, all of you who had a part of this, because it's very important to us here in Salina. And thanks again, and thank you, Senator Moran and Tim.